Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. LeBron made a lot of headlines yesterday, yo, and everybody was flaming him up, right? Everybody was flaming him up. And the big boys got into the conversation. People on Fox, people on ESPN, everybody was chiming in, right? But there was one particular show that I was very, very interested to hear what they were going to say. And in particular, one person. And this person is Nick Wright. We're talking about first things first. If you guys know anything about Nick Wright, he's a LeBron James zealot, man. He is the guy that said LeBron James became the GOAT in 2016 after they won that championship, right? He's really been riding hard for LeBron. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's the rub. On that show, of course, you have Kevin Wiles, but you also have Chris Broussard. Now, Chris Broussard is a LeBron James fan with logic, because although he has LeBron, I think, is his number 2 greatest player of all time, he does have MJ number 1. And whenever we have conversations about the GOAT, Chris always argues in the favor of Jordan. Here's another interesting thing. Historically, whenever Chris Broussard and Nick Wright had gotten into these GOAT debates and top 10s and all that, Chris Broussard usually lights Nick Wright up into the high heavens, man. He be flaming him. He be smacking fire out of him in some of those segments, man. So what happened? So they brought up this topic, and they were addressing this comment that LeBron made in terms of what he was talking about ring culture and how it's weird. And of course, in typical Nick Wright fashion, he decided to go up there and start twerking it up. But if you know anything about a Nick Wright, Chris Broussard segment, when Nick tries to pull his little fast moves, you know that Chris Broussard never lets Nick get away with it. And today was no exception, bro. It was fantastic. So what I want to do now is I want to play this exchange for you guys here. I want you guys to listen to it because it's great. It's great. He really got him here. And we'll come back and react to the comments. Take a listen to that there.
Look, I can answer LeBron's question. The reason it is, and first of all, let me say this. It is as focused on, and we all know it, in the NFL. Now, it's all about one position, quarterback. It's not as big of a deal for any other position, but it's a big deal for quarterbacks. The only reason, and Tom Brady is, I would say, universally regarded as the GOAT. Is there any argument to that?
Sure.
It's only because he has 7 rings. Or if he had 6. Like, it is all because of his rings. He doesn't have the best individual stats other than, the longevity type stuff. He was only first team All-Pro 3 times. That means the only 3 times that people think he was the best quarterback that season. All right? He didn't win. Aaron Rodgers has more MVPs. Obviously, Peyton Manning. It is all because of the rings. And, Nick, you know this. You and I both think Mahomes could pass him. It's going to be based on rings. Now, he doesn't have to get 7. He's got to get at least 4 and do some phenomenal stuff indivially with the way he's played.
For some people, he will need 7. And
No, right.
Yeah.
If he continues
we never agreed to 4.
Yeah.
We had talked about if it's a 3-peat,
yes,
then
a
that
3-peat would have
ring,
been
right.
nice.
He has
3-peats
to
are
do
huge.
some incredible individual, even that's about winning.
Yes, of course.
But he has to do, he probably needs 5, 6, and if he keeps playing like he has, 7 maybe, or 8 maybe. My point is this. It is talked about in football with quarterbacks as it is in the NBA. Forget baseball. Forget baseball. We understand that, right? You could hit 500 and hit 100 homers in a season and still lose because you don't have the pitching or the defense.
I know you have a lot you're going to get to, but just can I respond to the football thing quickly on that? Where I understand what you're saying to a degree, but the difference football to basketball, I would argue, is I do think there are a lot of people who say Dan Marino is better than Ben Roethlisberger, even though Ben Roethlisberger.
But that's fine. That's Ben Roethlisberger because quarterbacks touch the ball every play.
Yep.
They can have more of an impact on the game than any other player in football. That's why quarterbacks and basketball players are judged more on rings because in the NBA, of our 3 major sports, football, basketball, baseball, that are on everybody's in the public conscious, everybody talks about, basketball is the one where one player can have the most impact.
Yes, correct.
And then quarterback, you can have a huge impact. That's why. So because in basketball, one player can have the greatest impact, that's why there's rings. Now, I think LeBron was a little, I don't want to say disingenuous, but there were a few things I think that were erroneous that he said. Nobody says Iverson, Barkley, Nash, Ewing, Karl Malone, James Harden. Nobody says they weren't great. Nobody says they weren't great. We all acknowledge they were great. But when you start talking about all-time greats, you nitpick. And one of the nits to pick is a ring. And so I think that was a little unfair. And I also got to say this. When he said winning is a team sport, a team accomplishment, when he said in that video years ago, when we came back and beat Golden State 3-1, that's when I realized or felt like I was the greatest player of all time. He didn't say that's when I realized we were the greatest team of all time. He took individual credit by saying that team win made me the greatest player of all time. So I think he's talking out of both sides of his mouth in that regard.
So I don't think that's talking out of both sides of your mouth. To me, that would be if he said winning this championship made me the greatest player of all time.
That's what he said.
After playing just average or regular. I think it was overcoming that with what a lot of people consider as good of a 3-game stretch as any player has had. And like that, and that
he didn't say any of that.
I understand.
He said coming back from 3-1 against the greatest team ever.
They came back from 3-1 because of more than anything else his individual performance.
He was great, of course. And so he was 9 for 24 in that game 7, though.
Okay.
I'm just saying. He took individual credit for not saying that he didn't think his teammates helped him, but he took individual credit for that team accomplishment. That's all I'm saying. And then here he calls it just a team accomplishment.
So listen, I think that the frustration is rings have always mattered. It has not always been the end-all, be-all counting the way it has devolved into in some quarters. And this is the one.
Who's it the end-all, be-all for? I don't think any intelligent person on TV is saying it's all about the ring count. Right. Kobe's got more rings than LeBron. I think LeBron's better than Kobe.
I know you do, but I also think that is the number one thing when people argue Kobe over LeBron that they bring up is the rings. Obviously,
no, it's not. I have not heard one player say that. A lot of ex-players think Kobe was better than LeBron. I disagree with them, but a lot of them think they don't say the rings. They say the killer instinct. He was going at your throat. That's what they say.
All right, but I understand that that's what some players say. I thought you had just said people on TV. I can tell you what our all friend Charles Barkley said to me personally in a bar one time and on TV, which was in the LeBron versus Michael thing. How can LeBron be better than Michael when he's not better than Kobe yet when Kobe's got 5? That was a direct quote in person and on TV that we've heard.
So you heard what they had to say. You saw how Chris Broussard was not going to let Nick Wright get away with it. I mean, y'all saw it. Nick was trying to pull a fast one on everybody, and it just didn't work. As I said yesterday, all throughout the day, there's no way you can intellectualize that position, especially given the source of that message. Had it been somebody else, like maybe let's say it was Allen Iverson, a guy that never won rings, then probably you could kind of hear him out. But LeBron James, of all people, trying to make that argument? Mr. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Are you even joking with me right now? Wasn't he the one that was putting so much of an emphasis on winning rings? Wasn't he the same one that spoke about it? And like Chris brought up, after they won the championship in 2016, he called himself the GOAT. He was referring to the rings. So to me, look, man, that was just ridiculous. And Nick was trying to weasel his way around it. No, bro, you don't understand. LeBron means it like this. He means it like that. He's like, nah, we're not. No. And the funniest part about it is both of these guys are represented by Clutch. But here's something interesting. And I mean this. It's something that I thought about. I said, with all of the people that twerk it up in media for LeBron and in his camp, Why is Chris Broussard, even though he's represented by Clutch Sports, the same way Nick Wright is represented by Clutch Sports, why doesn't he jump out the window? Why doesn't he jump on this LeBron train the way a lot of these guys do? Why isn't he saying LeBron is better than Jordan and saying all kind of ridiculous things? And believe it or not, I truly believe this because I thought about this yesterday as I was thinking about this show. I think Chris Broussard's Christianity plays a role. For those of you who don't know, Chris Broussard not only is a Christian, but he's a real Christian. Like he follows it through and through. And I think that part of him won't allow him to go on TV and lie about things that he doesn't believe. This is just my observation from afar. I believe Chris cannot succumb to a situation where he's lying to collect the bag. And in this situation here, he refuses to relent. Maybe that's something he made abundantly clear to them before they started representing. Like, I'm not going to be up here lying for you guys. I'm going to say what I believe. I cannot be up here lying. Because a lot of these guys do lie. They lie, they grift, they come up with ridiculous comments and statements and all of that. Like, Chris is like, no, look, I understand LeBron's greatness. He even has him ahead of Kobe, by the way. But I'm not going to go that far and then just come up here and start making a fool out of myself by making silly arguments on TV on a daily basis. On there. So yesterday, there was some big news that dropped, right? And this news was centered on the record-breaking sale of the Lakers when they sold the majority ownership stake of the team for reported $10 billion. People were messaging about me. Mitch sent it to me. He was like, in case you want to go live. And I'm like, bro, I'm tired, man. People were leaving comments like, I expected you to go live about this news. Folks, I was tired. Don't be mad. I was just tired, right? But I said, okay, today I'll react to it. But I didn't just want to react to it and just come and give you guys the news because everybody's heard the news. And therefore, I mean, me giving you the information, what's new about it. I wanted to come with some perspective on it, right? And I was able to just kind of sit down, think about it, listen to what some people had to say about this news, and then kind of formulate an angle in which we'll discuss it today. And I listened to a few people that spoke about it. One of them is Rick Bucher, but the other person is Rob Parker, and we're going to get to his comments a little bit later. But first, let me read what Magic Johnson said when this trade went down. So I just want to read from an article here. It says, Magic Johnson takes a shot at Celtics after Jeanie Buss's $10 billion Lakers sale. The sports world is shaken up as Jeanie Buss has decided to sell the Buss family's majority stake in the Lakers to the majority owner of the LA Dodgers, Mark Walter. The deal valued the LA-based franchise at a whopping $10 billion, the highest valuation ever given to an NBA team. Following the report that broke the news about the deal, Magic Johnson, Lakers legend, went on social media to express his feelings about the role. Johnson also co-owns the LA Dodgers alongside Walter and hence had a detailed reaction to the news. However, the highlight of his response was when he hilariously did not miss the chance to take a shot at the Lakers' longtime rivals, the Celtics. He said, just like I thought, when the Celtics sold for $6 billion, I knew the Lakers were worth $10 billion. He wrote on X. Then it continues on. Job well done, my sister, Jeanie Buss, for striking an incredible deal and picking the right person to carry on the Lakers' legacy and tradition of winning. Mark Walter, my business partner and friend. Mark Walter is the best choice and will be the best caretaker for the Laker brand. The proof is in the pudding on what he's been able to accomplish with the LA Dodgers. Mark has also been nothing but short of a winner, notching 2 World Series and 11 NL West divisional titles in the last 12 years. He went on to explain why the Lakers fans should be excited as he is and tried to rationalize why Jeanie Buss decided to sell the majority ownership stake. Laker fans should be ecstatic. A few things I can tell you about Mark. He is driven by winning, excellence in doing everything the right way, and he will put in the resources needed to win. I can understand why Jeanie sold the team to Mark Walter because they are just alike. They are competitive people, have big hearts, love to give back, and both prefer to be behind the scenes. This makes all the sense in the world. I am so happy and excited for the Laker fans all over the world. And then the article goes on to say a few other things there. But I don't think it's all just fun and games and kumbaya. Some people believe that this could be a shift in the way the Lakers do things, and it could represent a departure from the LeBron James era with the Los Angeles Lakers. So what we want to do is want to quickly play what Rick Bucher had to say, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Rick here.
So they sold a majority share, which means that they didn't sell the entire team. So the Buss family is still involved. They just became cash flush. It's still Lakers. It's still Buss family. Things will probably be run, very similar to the way Jeannie and Dr. Buss and the rest of the Buss family have been running things for years and putting championships. I think so.
I mean, selling a majority to me says
she's still in the governor's seat. So she's still in
I know, that's what surprises me.
She's still in position.
For how long?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet.
For 3 or 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
Show them how to run the team, actually, and then step away.
That may be the case.
You
say what, about?
$10 billion.
I told you it was more than Boston.
Yeah, that's the richest NBA franchise.
I just want you to know that, though.
Yeah, I know that.
I needed to tell you that.
Not the richest. New York is. I'm shocked, one, just because we didn't necessarily see it coming. And there was a little bit of rumor in terms of her bouncing out, right? I think the most surprising part for me, well, I guess the most shocking part is I've always connected the Buss family with the Lakers for my entire life.
Fantastic. So you heard what Rick Bucher had to say there. Now, Rick wasn't the only one that felt that things were going to change. As you heard him in that soundbite, he said that just because Jeannie Buss is the governor, that doesn't mean she's going to have the controlling stake. She's going to have the final say so with the team. But one person decided to take it even a step further, and that person is Rob Parker. Rob Parker believes that there's no way after the Lakers have sold the majority stake that Jeannie Buss will still have the final say in all of the basketball-related moves. So for those of you who didn't hear what Rob had to say, I want to play his comments for you now. Take a listen to Rob Parker here.
The Lakers are being sold at a $10 billion valuation.
Well, the Celtics went for 6.
Yep.
So, we talk about city size all the time, seriously, and of course the Celtics have a brand. But they're in a city that's less than 600,000 people.
Nobody. We brought that up before. People think Boston is just this massive.
It's not.
It's the area, yes.
Yeah, the metropolitan area. But I'm talking about the city of Boston. That's like 600,000 people in it. I think that's the number. And Los Angeles is 3 million, right?
I think it's 4.
No, 5 million.
5 million. It's
5.
massive.
Chicago's 3, and New York is 8. That's
By the way, Chicago's. I don't think the average American grasps how big Chicago is.
No, Chicago's huge.
They know New York. They know that. Oh,
Chicago's,
LA.
Chicago's 3 million
massive.
people. We're talking about in the city limits, not the suburbs and all that stuff. But anyway, Rob G, it's a sale. The owner of the Dodgers had bought the Lakers.
Yeah, but if there is an asterisk, though, I must say, according to ESPN, for the foreseeable future, even with the new ownership in place.
You could say this, and I'm gonna just toss it away. Go ahead.
Jeannie Buss will remain as the governor of the team.
She'll be the
for
governor
several years to come.
She'll be the governor of Illinois, is what she'll be. She will not be the governor of the Lakers because that's what. Didn't they tell us that with Mark Cuban? And then Mark Cuban says, I didn't even know they were trading Luka. Well, how are you running? You claimed you sold the team and you were going to be running it and being involved. And then he comes out and says, I didn't even know what was happening. There's no way they're going to give her and her family $10 billion and then have her run it and have her sign people to big contracts and run up the American Express cards and wine and dine. No. Once you give up the $10 billion, that's it. All I'm going to say on this is it's good news. If you're a Laker fan, this is great news. Finally, the Los Angeles Lakers will not be run like a mom and pop store. And that's what it has been run like. All right? LeBron came in to get gum, and they let him take 2 bags of potato chips with him. That's what it was. They were supposed to get Ty Lue all these many years ago when right? Mm-hmm. They didn't want to pay him because they were already paying and want to pay money. Look at the coaches. There's a reason. There's a pattern. That's why it was so shocking even when they went after UConn's coach, with a big deal. That was shocking because they normally don't want to pay. Just because you own the Lakers and people think, oh, they're low. No.
Yeah,
this is their only business. When you go talk about these other owners, they make money. Are you kidding? James Dolan, his family owns Cablevision or whatever. They got gazillions of dollars. And we know the Clippers.
Steve Ballmer. Worth 120 or whatever it is billion.
The Mets owner, another guy, billions. The team, that's fun. Something to do.
That's a passion project.
Exactly. But this will be good for the Lakers because finally they'll run it like a real organization. It's not going to be like the Dodgers. They're not going to run out. They can't run out and spend $1 gazillion on people. It just doesn't. It's not the same formula. But I believe they'll be trying to win because that's what the Dodgers have done since they got new ownership. They're trying to win every year. They're going out.
Excellent. So you heard what Rob Parker said. Now, funny enough, I wanted to take to get the temperature of what the audience thought about this move. So I posted a few polls yesterday on the channel just to kind of get a sense of what people are thinking about this news. So the first poll I asked the audience was this. Are you excited about the Lakers getting new owners? Out of the 4,500 voters, 43% say yes, while 57% say no. That's interesting. Then I asked another question. What do you think the new ownership? What do you think the new ownership for the Lakers means? 2,000 voters voted. 53% said major shakeups on the way. 33% said business as usual, while 15% said they don't know. So just from kind of getting a sense of what people think, they're not excited. And I think the majority of the reason why they're not excited is because they don't know what to expect. Magic Johnson is saying, hey, look, this guy has a track record. He's worked wonders for the LA Dodgers, so that's what's going to happen with the Lakers. What are my thoughts about this? Well, I'm just thinking about it from my standpoint. If I was buying a majority stake in a team, there's no way I'm not going to want to have the final say so. Now, Rick Bucher pointed out something interesting, which was she's the governor, meaning she represents the team to the league. But that doesn't mean that she's the one that's going to get the final say so of in terms of them making basketball decisions. And given the fact that Mark Walter seems to be a very shrewd operator, given his track record, what he's done with the other sports franchise, this may mean a departure from business as usual for the Lakers. Because as you know, the Lakers, they're mom and pop business, to summarize it. They tend to hold on to their stars, give them the special star treatment. They did it for Kobe Bryant. A lot of people assume that's what they're going to do for LeBron James. But with new ownership in the door, things may certainly change. It usually does. Usually what happens is when new ownership comes through the door, they get rid of everybody else that used to be there, and then they bring in their own people. So time will tell. Time will definitely tell. But I think that one of the major points of interest for this new ownership group is going to be ensuring that Luka Doncic re-signs with the Lakers. That's of the utmost importance. Paramount. Number one, because he's the star for the future, right? So he's the guy that they're going to need to ensure that he re-signs, and then they're going to have to do things to make him happy, right? Building a team around him that's going to allow him to excel at the highest level. Right now, the Lakers do not have a good defensive starting five. If you look at their three playmakers on the team, yes, it makes them unique because they have three playmakers in Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, but none of those guys are known for defense. LeBron is too damn old. Austin Reeves cannot guard a park car, and Luka Doncic is just there. He's just standing out there like he's just taking pictures, man. He's not doing nothing on defense. So they need to address some of those things. They really, really, really need to, but I guess we have to see. So where do you got? It's just amazing to me how easily people can just talk about Kobe like, oh, he was just that guy. Oh, let's talk about him. Oh, Kobe was just that guy. And the person now that has done it is Dwayne Wade, which is crazy to me, right? Because Dwayne Wade used to be really close with Kobe and all of that. He's had some really nice things to say about him. So I'm surprised when I got this news. So this morning I was just going through the internet here and I came across an article that was centered on some comments from D. Wade talking about Kobe. He said, the article says, headline, Kobe Bryant didn't play well. Dwayne Wade discredits Lakers legend, says Pau Gasol deserved 2010 NBA Finals. And I'm like, bro, what? Pau Gasol deserved the 2010 NBA Finals? Is this what we're doing? Okay, so let's get into what this article had to say. It says, during the 2008 Finals, the Celtics won the championship and Paul Pierce took the NBA Finals MVP award home. But in 2009, Bryant finally got the award for the first time in his career. However, the second time he won the award, many people felt that he did not deserve to win that award, and instead his teammate Pau Gasol should have won it. Among those people is the Heat legend Dwayne Wade. On the latest episode of the podcast, Wade was explaining what SGA needs to learn from Kobe Bryant, and when he recalled his last run for the NBA Finals, while he was trying to teach SGA a lesson, he inadvertently discredited the Lakers legend. A lot of people don't know that in that finals, the last finals that they won, Kobe didn't play well. Kobe didn't shoot the ball well. Actually, everybody thought Pau should have been the finals MVP. That's how well Pau was playing, and Kobe was playing awful. But you could never tell when you turn on the TV on that he was struggling, because of his leadership is always there. His intensity is always, the fire is always there. So because he's 8 of 24 from the field or something like that, you can never tell with a player like Kobe. Okay. Because I heard some of these murmurs too. I'm surprised that these comments are coming from Dwayne Wade, right? When he played alongside a guy that scored 8 points in an NBA Finals game. But anyway, let's get into this here. First of all, let's look at Kobe Bryant's stats that year. Okay, let's look at Kobe's stats that regular season, because I think this thing is becoming overblown. That season, which was the 2009-2010 season, Kobe averaged 27 points per game on 45.6% shooting from the field, 33% shooting from three, 81% shooting from the free throw line, while getting you 5.4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3.2 turnovers, 1.5 steals. If you look at his playoff numbers that year, he averaged 29 points per game on 46% shooting, let's say, 37% shooting, 37% shooting from the three, 84% shooting from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 3.3 turnovers, 1.3 steals. So Kobe, all of his numbers went up that playoffs. And his plus minus for that entire run was 4.2. So his regular season, his playoff averages went up. Let's look at his finals numbers. In the finals, Kobe averaged 28.6 points per game, 3.9 assists, 2.1 steals. He averaged 32% shooting from three, 83% shooting from the free throw line, while getting you 6.3 rebounds. And 6.3 rebounds and 3.9 assists. Those are his numbers in the finals. Let's look at Powell's numbers that regular season, right? Let's see. So that season, Pau Gasol averaged 18.3 points per game on 53.6% shooting from the field, 0% shooting from the three because he didn't take three, 79% from the free throw line, 7.6 rebounds, 11.3 rebounds and 3.4 assists. Let's look at the, let me see if they can get the playoff numbers. So they're not giving the playoff numbers, but let's look at Powell's final stats. So in the finals, Powell averaged 18.6 points per game. He got 3.7 assists, 2.6 blocks per, 2.6 blocks per game. That is impressive, but that was actually a defensive error. 47.8% shooting from the field. He got you 72% from the free throw line, and he was getting you how many rebounds? 6.6 rebounds per game in the finals. Powell should have won what? Are you even joking? Powell should have won what? What are we talking about right now? Powell scored 23 in game 1, 25 in game 2, 13 in game 3, 21 in game 4, 12 points in game 5, 17 points in game 6, 19 in game 7. Kobe scored 30 in game 1, 21 in game 2, 29 in game 3, 33 in game 4, 35 in game 5, 38 in game 5, 26 in game 6, 23. Let's look at Powell's finals numbers, that game 7 numbers. He had 19 points, 18 rebounds, which is big, on 37.5% shooting from the field because that was a defensive slugfest that game. He shot 53%, 54% from the free throw line. And he had 18 he had 18 rebounds that game. Yes, he had 18 rebounds. Kobe's numbers, was 28.6 points per game, 8 rebounds a game, 3.9 assists. What are we talking about right now, bro? I already gave you his scoring averages. Now, Dwayne Wade is talking about that game where Kobe shot 25% from the floor. He shot 6 of 24. Pau Gasol who shoots closer to the basket, shot 37.5%. I'm confused. Kobe had 15 rebounds in that game too, and he is a 6'6" guard. What are you talking about? They're going to give Pau the Finals MVP over Game 7? Did you watch Game 7? Did you see who was making some of the big plays late in the game? Who was putting pressure on the defense in that game? Kobe Bryant in that game went to the free throw line 15 times and shot 73% from the free. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? Kobe had a bad game offensively, but he never lost his aggression where he just stopped shooting. There's a fundamental difference. There are guys that know they're going to have a bad night and they stop shooting, which means that they've lost confidence in their entire game. But he kept shooting because he believed in himself, and ultimately he made some big baskets late in the end of the game and made some major plays. But to say Powell should have won the Finals MVP is laughable. On what basis? Because what? He shot, 12 percentage points better than Kobe in Game 7, therefore he should have won? I'm lost. He had 3 more rebounds than Kobe, and he's 7 feet tall. What is this Kobe Bryant disrespect, bro? What are we even talking about? What I would like to hear is Dwayne Wade break down LeBron James' performance in the finals when they lost. How about that? Let's break down that game, whatever game it was where he scored 8 points. Break that game down for us, and let's hear the tell of the tape. You got to stop with this, bro. Like, we got to stop at a certain point. At a certain point, we got to stop. What are we talking about here? I just read off the numbers to you. Kobe didn't play well in the final. What are we talking about? Game 1, he had 37-6. Game 2, he had 21-5-6 and 4 steals. Game 3, he had 29-7-4. Game 4, he had 33-6-2 and 2. Game 5, he had 38-5-4. Game 6, he had 26-11-3. Game 7, he had 23. Man, y'all need to get, bro.